Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. And guess what? Today we have a brand freaking new season. Get excited. There's nothing like the beginning of a Marvel Snap season. New cards, two new cards, excitement. We still have the same Sanctum Showdown mode going on where you can get yet more free cards. We're going to get started, though, talking about these decks, and we're going to start by talking about an off-meta budget killer deck. If you just buy season passes and have played Sanctum, you're like 95% of the way toward this list. This is not a terribly expensive list. It is, however, an absolute meta killer right now because what we're seeing, or what we're going to see today, is we're going to see an awful lot of Arishem as people buy Eson, and an awful lot of the new card, the new season pass card Agamotto, who's putting extra cards in your deck. Well, Gorgon makes those cards really, really complicated, really, really difficult. And since both of those are things that get cards stuck in their hand, Ronan the Accuser should be incredibly, incredibly powerful. I played this list already into the current meta. I played this in some Gold Conquest, and I won every game with it. This is a really, really great deck from our friend Safety Blade, who you can find streaming at twitch.tv/safetyblade or writing articles over on Marvel Snap Zone. The only high series card you really need for this list is Gorgon. If you don't have Nico, you can run Iceman or Hydra Bob. Iron Patriot can be Lizard or Cable. Mobius or Rocket and Groot can be Luke Cage, Cosmo, Nocturne, and Red Guardian can be Rogue. So again, the only high series card you need right for this list is one that you can get absolutely for free, and this should do an amazing job at challenging what the meta is right now. So this is just going to straight up bully all of the decks that are going to be around today. It is a technical deck. This is a control deck. You have to know what you're doing, but if you play intelligently, you should be able to win a lot of games of Snap. Turn 1, you want Nico if draw 2 or Demon. The copy can be good, but no guarantee. You can also save Nico for later, as she just sort of fits in the curve with a good spell randomly. Turn 2, you want Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot can be a Snap condition. It depends. If you feel like you're going to win that Iron Patriot, and you got a really good card, then you should probably snap. If that works, and you're going to need your opponent to have played a card to have some idea what's happening, but if that works, you are ridiculously ahead. You should win that game. Then you have Gorgon, which is more or less equal to Sam Wilson. It depends what you think your opponent's doing. This is where Deck Tracker really helps, but you can also just click on the damn opponent's name and see how many cards are in their deck. If there's extra cards, then all of a sudden Gorgon's value goes way up above Sam, and if not, Sam is fine. And then you can play Master Mold on turn 2. You're fine playing Master Mold because you do have Gorgon to really mess with them. Turn 3, Rocket and Groot, if you have priority. Priority is generally speaking the play. Without priority, you might be better off dropping a 2 or dropping that Mobius and trying to disrupt your opponent. Turn 4, you're playing a 2/2 almost always. Turn 5, you want to play Ronan if possible. This is a decent time to Shang if there's a really obvious Shang target, but generally speaking, you want to drop Ronan. You can also then finish on turn 6 with Shang or Juggernaut with Master Mold or Maximus, and then you've probably won because you just put out. Ronan is lane winning, right? Ronan ends up being really huge in the decks that can't get all the cards out of their hands. You have scalers like Rocket and Groot and Captain America. You just have decent size from Maximus. You have extra cheap stuff from Iron Patriot. And then Juggernaut and Shang-Chi say, I can lock down this game. This is a control list, but this is a control list built for the meta as it should be later today. And again, this is a list that works as of recording right before the season reset. Give it some run. Before we get to talking about Agamotto, though, I'm going to ask you to hit that sub button, like, and comment as we bring you 7 days a week of Marvel Snap videos. There will either be a second video today or a second video tomorrow. That's right, 2 videos in one day. We cover at least 3 brand new decks every single day. All you have to do is hit that sub button. It's that red button at the bottom right corner, and we promise to bring you the most consistent Marvel Snap content as we try to hit 25,000 subs in 2025. We're at about 18,000, so we really do need your support. And on this video, this exact video, someone's going to win an Agamotto. That's it. Someone on this video is going to win an Agamotto. All you have to do is sub, like, and then later this video, I'm going to ask a question. When you answer that, you can win Agamotto. I'll announce all of my Agamotto week 1 winners. I'll announce the first chunk on Friday's video, and then I'll announce the second chunk on Sunday's video. So we're giving away 5 copies of Agamotto. All you have to do is sub, like, and then later this video, comment. And then we're going to give away 1 a week for the rest of the season. So if you miss out, don't feel like you missed out for too long. All right, Agamotto is the season pass card. He is a 5-team game start. Shuffle 4 Ancient Arcana into your deck. So let's talk about quickly what this card means and what it does, and then I'll show you the deck I'm going to want to play this in. So first and foremost, 510 is great stats. Arrow was one of the very, very few positive 510s, along with Black Panther, in the game, and I guess sort of Claw across 2 lanes. Agamotto gives you those stats. That's great stats, and that's worth running. However, in penalty, Agamotto shuffles extra cards in your deck, and those cards, I'm going to tell you right now, are not going to get any board presence. So you're going to draw cards that cannot give you board presence if you put Agamotto in your deck. That's the penalty you play for getting this extremely powerful card in your deck. Luckily, each of those Ancient Arcana are very strong, so you do end up relatively powerful, and with this powerful body. I think this Season Pass card is going to be incredible, but there's a lot to talk about with it. We did a full review video this Sunday if you're interested in a longer take on this, but let's look at these Arcana quickly. First, we'll go in cost order. The first is Temporal Manipulation. This is on reveal, give Agamotto +3 power, which means you will be playing a 10 for 13. Put him in your hand if he's not in play. So obviously this is a draw card that really does help with making your deck thicker, but it does something else here that's really important and really great. It will get him back, or at least it reads as if it will get him back if he's discarded or destroyed. If you get an Agamotto out early with whatever location, right, and they shong it. Well, if you play Temporal Manipulation, that should give him the +3 power and return him to hand, which is extremely powerful. There's I guess two more things to talk about here. First, this is a 1/0, except it's not actually a 1/0. These skills, the Ancient Arcana, do not have a power. They are just cost, not power, which means any cost-based thing will not make them cheaper. Sorry, any power-based thing will not make them cheaper, i.e. Ravonna Renslayer. They're not going to get hit by a Cassandra Nova or a Bast or a Agent Venom. They don't have power, so none of that stuff should work here. So that's worth keeping in mind. The other thing is this banishes, so basically this instant it resolves, it just disappears. Doesn't matter if it's played on Cosmo. Cosmo will stop the on-reveal, but it won't stop the banish this part. Next up, we have the Winds of Watum, and the Winds of Watum is the one that gives you the best, one of the best, like almost board presence-ish options. Winds of Watum is a 2/0, or 2 no stats. On reveal, afflict an enemy card with -5 power and move it to the right. So you want to hit a card in the left or center location. -5 power is a lot. 2/5 is a lot. Being able to like clog your opponent is really good. This seems like a very powerful card. It has some synergy, at least seemingly, with decks that run cards like Scream. Although making yourself less likely to draw Scream is a little bit. But this also seems like it's decent if you want to run Afflict. In general, this just seems like a really, really strong thing to do. It synergizes with last week's card, Diamondback, for example. Really cool and very powerful. From there, we have the Ramp card. It's the Bolts of Balthak. Next turn, you get +4 energy. Seems really good. You're perfectly happy to just say, okay, on turn 4, I've got 8 energy. On turn 5, I've got 9 energy. On turn 6, you can play this and, like, I don't know, a 2-drop, who cares? And then on turn 6, you would have 10 energy. That's a lot. I don't know how else to put it. That's an awful lot. This one seems like it's going to be incredible. Yes, you're paying 3 to get 4, but the caveat to that is that it lets you do big ramp explosive turns that allow you to do things like snap and get extra power as your opponent has to figure it out. Then finally, we have the Images of Icon, which is very likely to be the strongest overall. This is a 4. On reveal, transform your other cards here into copies of the highest power one. You can turn everything there, a bunch of 1s, into a Cull Obsidian. You can turn a bunch of cards into Galacta, right? Like you play Galacta on 4, then you play this on the Galacta on 5, and then you play like a Kitty Pryde, and that Kitty Pryde's going to get hit 3 times for +12. That kind of play seems absolutely incredible. This can be hard to do. Again, it's hard to make these cheap, but there is one card that I didn't put in this list that I regret immediately. We just have to figure out the right build that's going to go incredibly, incredibly well with Agamotto, and that is Quinjet. These are cards that did not start in your deck, and thus you can make all but the first one cheaper. If this is 3, that's 2, and that's 1. This feels broken. Now, when I was looking at this list, I was trying to figure out what to do, and our friend Pluto has a Thanos list. There's 2 Thanos lists we covered yesterday. We covered a Thanos list from our friend Derek, who's one of the best players in the game and currently ranked number 2, storming to number 1 at the very last moment. And we also have the absolutely incredible former 2-time number 1 player Crazy, who broke into the top 10 with the Thanos list. However, those aren't the Thanos list I actually have enjoyed the most right now. They're running Wiccan Thanos, and I don't think that's really where we want to be for this. Pluto has a Thanos list, and in addition to telling you about Pluto's Thanos list, which he already has a video out about, I'm going to give you an opportunity to win a season pass for learning about this Thanos list, so stay tuned. But this is just a very, very strong Thanos list. It's trying to use Hope Summers as extra energy, which seems really good with Agamotto. It's got Anti-Venom, which just seems amazing. Anti-Venom hitting one of the, I'm just going to call them spells. Cool. The Ancient Arcana, but spells. Hitting one of the Ancient Arcana seems absolutely amazing. Being able to hit like anything like Goliath, Mockingbird, Agamotto seems absolutely incredible strong. Being able to use Hope Summers for the extra energy, being able to play these cards that banish and then having extra energy seems really great. I think overall that this combination of cards is basically perfect for it. Plus, it has that Galacta play I really, really want to do with the Images of Icon, but I can also do something like make myself a bunch of Mockingbirds, which seems like it's amazing, right? I go Hope Stone Stone, or I Hope Stone Mockingbird, and then I'm just like, okay, Images, and I've got extra energy, and I've got all these, I've got this location that has now 27 power. That seems amazing. I'm really, really hyped to try it in this exact version of the Thanos build. I think this is going to be, again, where I want to be with it. The keys here being Hope Summers, Galacta, and Anti-Venom that I think are going to really sing with Agamotto. It's worth remembering that because the spells are Arcana Banish, they're not going to make Mockingbird cheaper, but you have the stones for that. The big thing here is this is not a I don't think these are going to work with Lockjaw. So, I mean, they might. If they work with Lockjaw, then we have a really, really obvious style of deck that we can sort of start putting together for with Lockjaw and Quinjet. But if we don't have that, then we're gonna have to figure out how to do this because we do want Agamotto just as this incredibly powerful card. So you can find Mayor Pluto at youtube.com/@MayorPluto. Make sure you go check him out. This deck needs Thanos, Mockingbird, Hope, and Alive. The version that Mayor Pluto has on his YouTube with gameplay has Blob in Agamotto's place, so that's the easy replacement. If you'd rather run Magneto, you'll be fine. Iron Patriot can be Cable, it can be Mirage, pick your poison. Galacta and Antivenom are really, really hard to replace. One can be Wiccan, but after that, you're sort of like left scrambling. I would go with Misery or Enchantress. If I didn't have Wiccan or Misery or Galacta or Antivenom, I'd probably not play this list. Although, again, I think Enchantress could be one of them. Rocket and Groot can be Mobius, Marvel Boy, or Psylocke. Any of those are perfectly, perfectly fine here. All right, so Pluto crushed with this. And if you would like, Pluto right now has only like a few hundred subscribers. If we can get Pluto up to, let's say 700, I like sevens. If we can get Pluto up to 700 subscribers, go check out his video, leave a comment. Someone who comments on that video will win an extra Agamotto from me. Go check out his amazing Thanos gameplay over on that video. So for this list, turn 1, you want to draw. Turn 2 is generally speaking Iron Patriot overdraw, but if you don't have much to do after, you will fairly often want to just draw more. Turn 3 is Hope, and if you've got Hope into the right Arcana or Hope into Galacta, you're trying to snap on Hope to threaten them. You can also play Red Guardian here with Prio, particularly good if you're Iron Patriot, or a 2+1. Turn 4, you want Galacta over Antivenom, and Galacta is a snap condition, right? Because just making stones huge threats is often enough when you're playing that with other cards. Galacta over Antivenom over Mockingbird with draw. Cool. Turn 5, you generally speaking want to play Thanos, and if you've got a giant Thanos, that's often a snap. Nice and simple. Thanos can be excellent here. Or you can play Mockingbird or Agamotto. Agamotto is just, again, keyword big here. It's as big as Thanos most of the time. And if you played one card, it's bigger than Thanos. If you played 6 cards, Thanos is bigger. You can fairly often play another card and Mockingbird here too. You can play like an Antivenom and Mockingbird, which is incredible. And then turn 6, you want Goliath, and if Goliath is going to shut down an opponent, particularly a Hela opponent, you should snap on that. Or you can play Shang-Chi Plus, and that is often enough to win as well. And that's how you play this list. That will be my day 1 Agamotto list. If you'd like to see me play it, you can, let's not get to Eson yet. If you'd like to see me play this list, you can see me play basically every Agamotto list I can find around 6:30 p.m. Eastern on stream. I'll be right here on YouTube and on twitch.tv/PulseGlazer if you want to see how Agamotto actually works. All right, next up we have Eson. Eson is a 6/10. He's after each turn, put a card from your hand that didn't start in your deck here. Nice and simple. So if you generated cards from anywhere at the end of the turn, he's going to drop cards there. You want to try and get him out early so that he can drop 2 cards there. Ideally, if you can get him out on turn 5 or 4, wave is a card, turn 5 or 4, and then he starts dropping extra cards, he should be able to win a lane alone, which is obviously great for a 6, right? A 6 that can get enough other stuff to win a lane is going to be huge. Now, there's going to be a lot of really like wild builds that run Wiccan and Wave and all sorts of stuff with him. Those are nice. However, However, I think the place he's going to end up being largely is Arishem. Although Second Dinner is telling us to play him with Wiccan. They're finally putting Wiccan in spotlights with one of the best variants I've ever seen, saying that these cards can go together. So hopefully they can. I'm sure players like Ika will be coming up with brews. I will also be playing these on stream tonight. I'm not going to sleep a lot tonight. I'm going to stream like crazy, grind toward infinite, and try out as many decks as humanly possible. Beta Ray Bill is a Series 4 card who's significantly worse than Wiccan and probably Eson, but he's not something you're sad to have. He opens up an extra deck. Wiccan, however, is the big prize of the week. I'm not sold on Eson. And before we go any further to talk about Eson's deck, I'd like to let people know how we do things on this channel if anyone here is brand new. As everyone who has been here for years, and there's plenty of you, are just like, we know. Well, too bad. So tomorrow I will tell you my first impressions after playing these cards a bunch on stream. Thursday, I will ask a bunch of the top players in the game, the very best players, the very best deck builders, what they think of the new cards, and then I'll present that out to you. Friday, I will synthesize that with data and give you a weekend mission review. There's no reason to buy Eson before weekend missions. If he's absolutely terrible, having 3 days of data to know that is better. And if he's absolutely broken, you don't actually lose any resources or anything from giving it a day or two to actually figure that out. And then on either Sunday or Monday's video, we always do a last chance review where we take one last look at the card before it leaves spotlights and give a final recommendation. All right. I think Eson just goes in Arishem. I'm sorry. I wish I had a cuter way to play it, but I think it just goes in Arishem. So this is the Arishem list. I just want to throw it in. Nice and simple. Um, I added a little extra card generation so we can try and get specific things, like a Valentina card's a good hit and a Nick Fury card's a good hit here. But outside of that, this just seems like a standard Arishem list with Eson in one of the big card slots. That could easily be a Red Hulk, a Magneto slot, but I think Eson being able to come out on turn 5 just seems very, very strong here. If you drop Eson on turn 5, he's going to give you an extra card that's going to help you make your Mockingbird cheaper. If you can do that kind of thing, you're just way ahead of the curve. I don't know, that seems reasonably worthwhile to me. Again, he might be good in other places, but this is where I want to be playing him. You can find me, this is my version of the list, at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer tonight. This deck needs both Arishem and Eliath. Yep. Mockingbird can be She-Hulk. It's worse. Obviously, that's why it's a replacement, not in the deck in the first place, but it's fine. Valentina can be Iron Patriot or Cable. Iron Patriot is the best replacement. I'm not even sure Valentina is better than Iron Patriot here. It's a 50-50. Galactic can be Enchantress or Gwenpool. Eson can be Red Hulk or Blob. Galactic can also be Ares. I was trying to fit Ares in and I couldn't quite do it. Eson can be Red Hulk or Blob, and Legion can be Vision or Claw. So if you like Arishem, you should strongly consider this card, I think. Turn 1, you want Quinjet. Quinjet is fairly often a snap condition in this list. You can wait a turn or two, but getting the cheap deck, the extra energy cards even cheaper is very strong. Turn 2, Valentina, and Valentina could be a snap depending on what it gives you. Turn 3, you want Galacta, and Galacta on 3 is a snap almost always, over Fury, and if Fury gives you something incredible, or you already have Eson, feel free to snap. Turn 4, Galacta over Fury, which is more or less equal to Legion, which is fine. Depends what else you have in hand. If you don't have anything good, Fury goes above Legion. If there's a location where Legion wins, Legion can be a snap, and then you play it. Turn 5, you want Eson, which is more or less equal to Magneto. Keep an eye out for Magneto clogs. Sometimes you can just get a pull clog for Magneto, in which case you should, and that's better than Mockingbird Plus. And then turn 6, you usually want Eliath Plus. Once in a while, you'll drop something else, but it's generally speaking Eliath or Magneto or whatever the big thing you got is. And remember, Nick Fury gives you a second chance to draw that Eson, a second chance to get that Magneto or get that Eliath, which is all very, very strong possibilities. I don't know. I don't want Arishem to be back, but I think Arishem's going to be back with this. Don't forget to check out the stream tonight. We're going to give away an extra season pass on stream. Shh, don't tell anyone, but we're going to give away an extra season pass tonight on stream if you're interested. All right, so our season pass question for this video, someone who comments the answer to this question on this video will win a season pass, is what are your goals for the new season? Sometimes people have the same goals every season, sometimes they change. What are you going to try to accomplish? And maybe if your answer is the same and you've answered before, you can tell me about life goals or things you plan to do in March. We're going to finish this off with a Wiccan list. This is Ika's Wiccan list that has been doing incredibly well. Some people are going to get Wiccan for the first time, and if you're going to get Wiccan for the first time today, I wanted to leave you with a list. This is not a cheap list. Wiccan is fairly often not a cheap list, but this one does have a fair amount of replacements. You can find Ika at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. This deck needs 3 cards: Fenrir Wiccan, and Kate Bishop. Those 3 are absolutely required here. Fenris is really, really good right now. It wouldn't be required, but Hela is everywhere, and we really don't want to lose to Hela every damn game. Iron Patriot, sorry, turn 2. Iron Patriot and Sam Wilson can be Lizard, Cable, or Mirage. You're running Enchantress, so Lizard is fine. Cable, Mirage are just fine replacements here. Goliath can be Magneto. Again, keep that clog play in mind if it is Magneto. And then Gladiator can be Killmonger because there's just Killmonger good. So Eco went 10-3 with this, a 77% win rate, and was +2 in win cubes in those 13 games. Turn 1, you want Quicksilver. Turn 2, you want Kate if you don't have a 3, because Kate will give you a 2+1 play. Turn Iron Patriot if Gladiator or Negasonic, if you're pretty sure you're going to have Prio, is fairly often a snap. If you played Quicksilver, they played nothing, then you play Iron Patriot, you're almost always going to have Prio going into turn 2, so Gladiator or Negasonic is often a snap, assuming Iron Patriot gave you something halfway decent. That's better than Sam, which is better than Fenris. Fenris is a card you want to generally play a little later. Turn 3, you want whatever 3 over 2+1, ideally Gladiator or Negasonic over 2+1. That's nice and simple, right? You will play Luke here as necessary, but Luke is reasonably often a turn 6 play against Affliction to just steal wins. Turn 4, you want Wiccan, and please, for the love of God, snap before you Wiccan. You're not going to win every game where you Wiccan snap, but you are so far favored that you should almost always be snapping. And that's better than, generally speaking, a 2+2. You have a lot of 2s in the list, and if you played Wiccan, you're going to play, if you don't have Wiccan, you're going to play more of those. Turn 5, you want a 4+3, a 4, a 3, or a 3 with Fenris, and just very quickly, examples of that would be you Enchantress something off and you play Fenris, or if you didn't have extra energy, now you go either Negasonic or Gladiator with Fenris, and that's where you want to go. Turn 6, Goliath or Shang Enchantress plus, and then plus is obviously whatever the hell else you can with your extra energy. Try and steal cubes. You should be able to win. Don't forget to trigger your Fenris Wolf. Enjoy. One last look. Again, this list is awesome. Not the cheapest thing, but not the most expensive either. Only 3 high series cards that are really important, and they're mostly important because there's such a heavy Hela meta right now. If Fenris Wolf just goes away, I think a lot of that Hela meta stuff goes. If Hela goes away, I think Fenris Wolf is not required, and this list is fine without it. I fully expect Hela to go away, not this coming Thursday, but the Thursday after. If you'd like to see gameplay from these lists outside of just checking me out, you're going to be on later in the night, please check out our friend Gaming. Oh no, today is Prashan at 12 p.m. Eastern. Prashan will not be playing the new cards yet. Hope maybe he'll stream long enough, but go check him out. Questions of the day. So first, I actually have a question for all of you. I have this second channel. Some of you will remember I was going to make a Pokemon Pocket channel, and I really didn't like the game. I'm considering making that an advice channel. Like, it just here's what's happening in my life, like almost a write-in advice show channel. We can do game recs, we can do reviews of TV shows and movies, stuff there. I'm wondering if any of you would be interested in checking that out. And if you would let me know in the comments or shoot me a DM or hop on the Discord to let me know. All the Discord is linked in the description of the video. I'd appreciate it. I'm curious. I want to start doing a little bit of extra stuff that is like we'll do some variety gaming on that channel, stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, that would be on our Pulse Glazer channel. So if you'd be interested in checking that out, if you're just here for Marvel Snap, hey, no harm, no foul. You can just say, hey, no, sorry, I'm only really interested in Snap. I don't actually care about your opinions, yada yada yada. But if you're watching the questions of the day, you probably watch my questions of the day. Like yesterday, I talked for a good 10 minutes about the idea of when it was best to give up. And I was like, wow, I'd like to do that more often. But then I watched Brave New World, and I'm going to go see the new Bong Joon-ho movie in a few days. I'd like to have a place I could talk about that too. So I was hoping that perhaps, you tell me, if you're interested, I could do basically turn that channel to that. It would all be recorded live on stream, so it wouldn't be like anything crazy. I'm not going to do a million edits or anything. It would basically just me making a quick outline, having some B-roll playing, and talking about whatever that thing is. Let me know if you're interested, if you'd be willing to follow. If you are, I might reply with the link to that YouTube so that hopefully you can check it out. And then I'll start it in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks or so. This is, by the way, the 2-year anniversary of never missing a day of Snap Judgments. This is the 2-year anniversary today of when Snap Take began, when these daily videos started. Heretics Lee, the king of questions, asks, in Spotlights with Eson, what other card should be there? And we have Wiccan as just a great call. I love that Wiccan's here, so I'm not complaining. The second card could be numerous other things, obviously Arishem being one. But this would have made a lot of sense as a Loki week because having this card in hand when you Loki, if you can get extra energy through X, Y, or Z, it will get you an extra card in for that Loki. And there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for Loki, who's dropping in series today. Also, obviously, today is series drops. We have a whole video on that, so please make sure you check that out if you have series drop questions. It is linked. I'll make it sure it's linked at the end of this video, and it was linked earlier this video. So make sure you check out the series drop video if you want some like decks and thoughts about all the cards that are dropping. Certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks. I got to say thank you to a whole bunch of people from patreon.com/snapjudgments. But if you'd like to be one to either compete in our tournaments or to just support the channel, please do check it out. Thank you to our patron of the month for March, Absolute Shannon. Thank you so much for Shannon. We also have the great Abigail Gieslin. What's up, AG? Mandatory burnout, my alliance leader. Regardless, damn right. It's a word. Always kind, LAB, the Graphite Fan Inc. I am Frostman, you sure are. Hota Navarrete. Hopefully you're around, Hota. Shoot me a message. Thinking Poker of the Think Poker podcast. Prime Ryan of the Prime Mine app. Please do check that out. He's sponsoring Snap Judgments League season. What's season number 5? Snap Judgments League season 5. We got Ryan Burke of Burke Avenue fame. Ryan Wood. Check out Ryan Wood at RyanWood_YT for YouTube, where he's doing some cool Snap stuff. He had a whole haiku video. The king of questions, Caretix Lee, the very, very rude Koirei, our friend, the very, very kind Kazushi, Archangel 3K, who hopped on stream the other day. Thanks, Archangel. Black Dahlia, coming all the way from Australia. I believe it's Australia. If I'm wrong, let me know, my friend. Pyro Froze, hey Pyro. The Goat Seeker, what's up, Goatsy? Hallowed, Nightmare, Only Fox, who liked a bunch of stuff but still hasn't shot me a message. Let me know how things are going, Fox. Synth, who ditched me last night. Thanks, Synth. Hopefully you're doing well, Synth. Fat Nick, Dirty, Casual, how you doing, Dirty? Mr. Kerfuffle, hey Kerfuff, Cables, who I talked to on a plane, hi Cabe. We got Ginger Prime, Ginge, Philip Rakovich, who does all the wonderful shorts you see on the channel, Haplo, what's Haplo name? Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Beza, notoriously here, Black Jeebus 23, Extra C and Skippy G, rhyming friends, Jessica Gamble, sup Jess, Mr. Slush Death, winner of Snap Justice League Season 1, the Kinger Bros, who came back to a stream and is working evenings now, what's up bro? The Great Kazoo, Werewolf, thanks for hanging. You haven't let me know how you're feeling. Please shoot me a message. Let me know. Kev C. Hoda. Hey, Kev. Luna Chris. Luna, are you still watching the VODs? I haven't seen you live. Clam. Mr. Colonel Foreman. How you doing, my friend? Rob Silverman. Middle Row Bride. M. Holland. David G. Wingfield, who really, really likes Pixel Mojo. Steven. Brian Kaufman. Tristan H. Martin. Jason B. Mista. Craig. Starry. And Matt V. Real name town. Ren. Wrench. Brent. Corbin, John Q, and Jim McHugh. It's Cute Town. Yes, Stout. He is Stout. 8th, Sage. 1, Big Man. Milkman for reals. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack. BG. Quid Pro Joe. Snap Decisions Joe. Check out the Snap Decisions podcast, please, friends. Models, Mod Supreme. My favorite Osborne, Green Goblin. Being challenged by that new Spider-Man cartoon, by the way. Unibot, what's up, Uni? Flan56. The Fuzzy Donut. Spectrumix. Hoot. Ocularis, Matt H, DJ, Mikey, Hijinks, No Frickin' Flex, Nick, the Greek Geek, what's up, Nick? Check him out. He's actually started streaming again. Zodrex, check him out on Twitch. King of Canada, Twitch and YouTube. Fothor Newman, Twitch and YouTube. I almost forgot Denman, Tournament Killer, over on YouTube. Our friend Jonesy, check out the Triple Threat on YouTube. Two Ties, who doesn't have Twitch or YouTube, but does in fact have two ties, which is better. Lauren Badevs is the Snap on this podcast. Check out Lauren Badevs, the Pirate King Tucker, Twitch and YouTube, and of course Gunny T, where the T stands for tournament, really mostly. But hey, I promised you that that series drop video would be on the screen, so hopefully that's on the screen right now, and I ain't messed that up. And I'll see you all tomorrow or maybe later. I'm gonna try to do one later, but I can't promise you. I'll see you soon for more Snap Take. We got to do data mines. We got to do reviews of the new cards. We're gonna do streams. Don't miss out. Tons of giveaways. Peace.